Tina, my homesteading project, and it is still snowing outside, so we have another craft room video today. I am trying to get to all the videos that you've requested, so this is another one that I had requested, and this is for the unpaper towels. So this is what we're making, and these sit on a paper towel stand. Can you see that? On a paper towel stand on my kitchen counter. They are basically towels that I've made out of terry cloth and flannel, so they're absorbent, that we use instead of paper, and they're snapped together and they sit on a roll on my countertop. Now on the countertop, I have 2 rolls of these because you go through quite a few. And the one on the counter does have the old cardboard tube from an old roll in the middle so that it stands up in the holder better. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make those today. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out our terry cloth. Now the nice thing is you could do this project with all recycled materials if you wanted to. If you go to a thrift store, you can get old towels. Just make sure, if you can still read the label, that they're cotton because they're more absorbent. Some people don't use the terry cloth at all. They just use the flannel. You can also do old flannel sheets, old flannel shirts, whatever you can find at a thrift store. You just want to make sure, like I said, that it's 100% cotton so that it will be absorbent. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut out our terry cloth. Now normally I would do this in production, stack up layers and cut it out that way. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and do one. So I'm going to use my quilting square and cut out a 12 by 12 square, which is a little larger than a normal paper towel, but as you wash these, there will be a little bit of shrinkage over time. So you want them to be large to begin with. So there's our 12 by 12 square of the terry cloth, and you will get little balls of terry cloth everywhere. That's not preventable. And then we're going to use that same fabric that we used for the menstrual pads the other day, just because I happen to have it out. And we will cut out a 12-inch wide strip. Line it up nice and even. We will cut out a 12-inch wide strip. Make sure I got all the way up. Nope. I'm doing this backwards from how I normally would so that you can see. So I'm not getting through all the way. Come on. There we go. Okay, so get that out of the way. Now, since I'm just doing one, I'll go ahead and open it up. Now, you can get all kinds of cute fabrics, and I went ahead and did red. I recommend doing darker colors just because, especially if you have men in your household like I do, because they will use these for everything, and they're going to get dirty and stains. So a darker fabric will show the stains less than a lighter fabric. So it's, you can use whatever you want, but they will get stained. So the darker the fabric, the better. And even your terry cloth, you can just get a darker terry cloth fabric as well. And then you won't have so many stains, because mine are pretty stained up. Although I can show you a way to clean them. I'm going to do that in another video. But anyway, So you've got your 12 by 12 square. Ouch. Close your cutter. Your two 12 by 12 squares, and we're going to lay them together. And I'm gonna do the edges with the serger so it doesn't have to be exact. Although you can do this on a sewing machine as well and just use a zigzag stitch and go ahead and do it that way. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pin this together. I just like pinning, it takes so long. Okay, we've got these two pinned together, and usually on terry cloth there's not a right or wrong side, but if you do have a right or wrong side, make sure that both of your right sides are out. And what we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to sew an X through the middle. Let's see, can you see it better on that side? No, probably not. So an X from corner to corner, and I just eyeball it. You can mark it with a fabric marker if you want, but I'm going to do an X in the middle to hold these layers together real good. So we're going to go to the sewing machine and sew our X. And as I said, you could go ahead and do that by hand if you wanted to, but we're going to go over to the sewing machine now. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew from corner to corner. And granted, they don't have to be perfect, but with just a straight stitch. And actually I'm going to do a long stitch to keep it from bunching too much. And shoot, am I on straight stitch? I'm not. There we go. Okay. So as I said, you can go ahead and mark a line if you're worried about it being perfectly straight. I'm not. They're just paper towels. They're going to get dirty. So I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm just using white, so it gives it a little bit of a contrast. Plus, I've got the white terry cloth on the back, so then it doesn't really show on the back. Kind of eyeball that, make sure I'm going the right direction. And you do just want to kind of keep it as flat as possible so you don't have puckers on the underside. Make sure I'm still going the right way. Probably should put my hand in the way so you can see. Good job of staying straight and going corner to corner. Sometimes it turns out, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so there is our X pattern. And now we're going to go to the serger. Actually, I'll leave my side pins in. Now we're going to go to the serger and go around the edge. Now if you don't have a serger, what you can do is straight stitch around the edge and snip it off, or you can do a zigzag, a really close together zigzag stitch, so it looks almost like a finished serger stitch, and do the same thing, snip close to the edge. Now a lot of my projects that I do with flannel and stuff, that's how I finish my edges. I just cut about 1/16 of an inch away from the seam, and then as you wash it, the first couple times you'll have some little strings and things that you can just snip off, but as you wash with the flannel, it gives you a nice, really soft edge, and it looks fine, and it holds together just fine. But you can do the straight stitch or a zigzag stitch and just cut it close if you don't have a serger. But we're going to go ahead and go to the serger now. Okay, so the final step is to put the snaps on. Now I've gone ahead and just used a Sharpie that's kind of close to the color of this. It's not going to show anyway because it's going to go underneath the snap. But I went ahead and marked each of the 4 corners, and then I did measure and I marked in the middle to show where my snaps go. Now I'm using the plastic snaps again, so you're going to need 6, can you see those? 6 of the caps, and then you're going to need 3 of each of the different, the wide one and then the narrow that snap together. Now, the trick to this is you want to make sure that they all are the same, exactly the same, otherwise they won't snap together. So on this one that I've already made, I have the 3 caps on one side, and then on the other side I have the wide side of the snap, okay? And so on the back I've got flat here and then the narrow on the back. You want to make sure they are all exactly the same so that they will snap together. So narrow on the back. So these ones are going to go on the back. These ones go on the top. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make our first hole. Shove our cap through. Remind myself already, I've forgotten. Alright, small, and these ones go on the back. And these snaps here are size 16. Because that's what I used for the other ones. And that's all you do. Squeeze them on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put on all 6 snaps, and then we will come back and it'll be finished. Okay, so we've got all of our snaps on. Caps on this side, caps on that side, and now the moment of truth. Let's see if it will snap on to the ones that I've got my other roll. So these just snap together. Now this one hasn't been washed like these ones have, so it's a little bit bunchy, but look at that. Once it's washed as many times as the other ones have, it will be. So there you go. See? Our unpaper towels. You do not need to have paper products in your home. You can make them yourself out of washable, reusable materials. So I hope that helps you. There's the video on my unpaper towels, and if you like these craft room videos, I'm going to be doing quite a few more of them until the snow melts. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and as always, remember, God is good.